A draft physics video. Yes, the evil Piro has made another video, and once again, he can't ever be fair or honest or have any integrity or do anything right, and so forth. Gary says he deserves validation for his hard time spent. No, another lie. You just always have to lie, don't you? You just can't help yourself. You just lie about every single subject and all the evidence, and every argument you make is just a fucking lie. What I deserve is fairness. That's what I deserve. Oh, you just suck so much. So yes, let's play this piece of steaming shit, no doubt, from the steaming liar.
Alright, this is a video to in Manhattan / DraftScience. Now, I mean, 3 hours in a minute.
Yeah, all my videos are DraftScience videos now on this subject, so you really could just do without the Mendham thing, but whatever. Let's just the speed thing. That was a little too fast.
No problem with that, but I don't know if I do have 3 hours. I could listen to it if this was more casual and friendly.
I don't even care about you listening to those videos. Those videos are just for the record. Just to point out to people how you use fake evidence, you use shitty arguments, and you character assassin because you're a petty fucking cunt. So that's all those videos are for. They're not for you, you stupid shit. They're for a record that this is the crap you have to put up with. Right? You try to do anything, you try to do anything in this world, and trolls show up. Fucking useless prick trolls like you. Naysayers. Shit talkers. They haven't paid any fucking attention. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they show up and just make a fucking mess. And that's all you fucking are. You don't deserve to have a political argument with anybody or a rational argument with anybody because you don't make one. You stupid piece of shit.
But if you just insulting me for 2/3 of that, not really necessary. Now I know you're gonna say.
Yeah, your whole video was technically vacant. It didn't have. It wasn't. Not 1 ounce of it was on the subject of my fucking theory, and I haven't even gotten through the part 2 thingy. You know, okay, through the first minute of it, and you say your magnetism thing doesn't do anything. Yeah, no, it only creates a mechanism. It replaces your Feynman virtual photon bullshit, your imaginary, well, we have made up imaginary forces to do imaginary things to explain it. Yeah, and it explains how you can create a polarizing filter out of a magnet. Okay, and that if you understand, electrons and protons as polarized entities, that you could sort of understand why they might be attractive and, well, how they might be repulsive and unrepulsed. As a fact. As a fact. And it does that, shithead. Volume's usually too loud, now it's way too soft. It probably just
has... You started it, but it doesn't matter. As soon as I...
No, you started it, fuck, and there's no doubt about that, you fuck. You trivialized the effort right from the goddamn very beginning, and that's all you fucking did. You didn't sit there and pay any attention. You watch half of a video or 10 seconds of a video, or you speed your way through the video, a physics video, and then you decide to do some casual bullshit critique. That's what happened, fuckface.
I got involved, I'll take responsibility for the part I'm doing. Still, it's related to the fact that you're in here saying you spent all of this hard time, and you could have been watching movies, working on this science. And you should get some validation for that.
No, I should get a fair fucking argument. And you're not making a fair fucking argument. I point out how the videos on a subject that are supposed to be nail in the coffin evidence for something, I show up at a trial that's a fucking sham. And I show up and I point out how this evidence is bullshit. The cop put the gun in the goddamn hand. Okay? This isn't nail in the coffin evidence, goddammit. Okay, it's been tainted. It's tainted fucking evidence. And you gotta start the fuck over. And what do? You arrogantly and pontificatingly just show up and sit there and show me some more bullshit, some more lies. And then pretend I didn't make an argument. How the fuck is that fair, you fucking idiot? I mean, you're a fanatic for wave theory, period. You can't be fair, so just fuck it. Stay out of the argument. But you can't make a fucking argument.
The problem is, the only validation you would accept is that you're correct. Now,
No, I would accept a fair argument, something that was actually on the subject of what I have proposed, and in some way relevant to what I have proposed, and in some way relevant to the fucking arguments I made about how weak your evidence is. Your evidence is preposterously weak, and you concede nothing. The nails don't exist. There is no fucking coffin. This argument is not dead, and you're just pretending because you've all fallen for the lies and the bullshit that the argument's over, and that is just so fucking bogus. That's my, oh yes, the brutality of my argument is your evidence is weak, and you won't concede it. And that's the fucking outrageous thing you're in denial of.
I think by spending time talking to you about the ideas you've come up with,
you haven't done that.
That's all the validation you should need. That's a compliment.
Yeah, no, you're a troll, for fuck's sake. Again, show me one argument you've made relevant to what I have proposed. One argument where you actually paraphrased what I was proposing. One fucking argument. One. God, you're such a sick liar.
Right there. Doesn't matter that I disagree. I thought it was worth my time. Now, maybe it's not a compliment, because maybe I like spending my time on...
No, maybe because you're a troll. You're a fucking troll. You think I want your 17 one-sentence comments on my videos? Just saying, look at this link, do that, do this, why don't you pay attention, blah, blah, blah. You really think anybody would think that's a compliment, you cunt? God, you have a sick ego, you fucking piece of shit.
Crazy ideas. You know...
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's a compliment to somebody. You go around looking for psychotics to play with. Yeah, well, that's your problem, as I've stated before. That's your sick psychosis, weirdo. I don't like psychotics, and I don't like liars, and I don't like fucking trolls. And that's what you fucking are, you piece of shit.
Maybe I like studying people that think the flat earth and figuring out if they really believe it. People that say spaghetti.
Yeah, you probably do the same thing. You won't come up with a real argument even for them.
Monster is their God, and if they really believe it. Maybe I just enjoy that, and you don't want to be a kind of person like that I happen to enjoy. Whatever, we've talked about a lot of subjects, and I think you could be mature enough to realize that myself, Michael, today, we're giving you feedback that helps you...
Oh, fuck you are. Again, fuck the fuck you are. Hathaway is asking questions. He didn't even come close to asking question 1 on the theory of bent space. Where did he ever ask, well, where's the infrastructure for this mechanism that bends the space? How does the space communicate with the matter? How is any of this fucking He doesn't do any of that. Where's he show any a necessity to find any apply any standards of logic and reasoning to a single thing being proposed by you? A single one of your wacky theories. I haven't heard Hathaway explain to me exactly how electrons, because they get a velocity, all of a sudden have a frequency, and that they disappear from reality, and that their wave, whatever, goes through the 2 slits. It does so. Electrons and buckyballs disappear from reality. So their wave function can go do something, and then tell them where to go. And he thinks all that isn't something that needs any scrutiny. Nobody has to scrutinize any of these bizarre theories about this bizarre infrastructure that's always telling things where to go. These magic particles and magic infrastructures and magic mediums and magic ethers that are doing all this bullshit. No scrutiny whatsoever. And he'll sit there and nitpick me on things like, well, where did electrons get invented? How come it didn't occur to him to ask regular physics where electrons are invented? I mean, what a cunt.
Progress your system, especially given that you seem to only be able to get energy to work on things through a negative energy of hating on something.
Oh yeah, bullshit. Again, just absolute bullshit. I've done rooms with people who ask honest questions, and I answer the honest questions. So bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I don't need your negative fucking turd energy. Fuck you, you cunt.
Long ago, you decided there was nothing worth doing out of the joy of that, but rather avoiding the misery of something else. So you find things that are like, remind you
Again, irrelevant. I heard every once in a while you like to stick dildos up your ass because you can't get off. You know, and then you think about, you know, molesting fetuses and shit because, yeah, you don't really like kids, but you love fetuses.
things, ideas you don't like, and dealing with them is how you get energy to then go and be creative, which is probably what you really want. And
fuck you. What does this have to do with the subject? Oh, that's right, absolutely nothing. What does this have to do with the subject that you haven't made one fucking honest argument critiquing what I have proposed? Not one fucking honest argument.
Saying you can take a shortcut and just be creative. We're giving you feedback willingly, and if you just were man enough, basically, or woman enough, you happen to be a man.
Yeah, well, if you weren't everything entirely troll, so if you were a little bit untroll enough, maybe you could understand that you're a piece of suck.
So man enough, or woman enough, to accept a disagreement, if you could understand...
yeah, no, this isn't about disagreement. It's about an unresolvable, incapable to have a conversation argument where you won't even concede when I show tons of evidence of how your evidence is weak. You'll just sit there and pretend it's the most proven theory in the history of mankind.
Understand that, hey, I disagree with you, but hey, it's interesting enough subjects to talk about. Then you could also possibly get the energy to work on your system. The problem is you might have to acknowledge...
Yeah, no, I don't have to acknowledge any of your bullshit. Not one goddamn bit of it, but not one bit of it has been an honest critique. Not one bit of it has been goddamn relevant to the scope and the point of the argument, which is fundamentally that a 300-year-old theory has now been revived by making it kinetic, and it fucking goddamn works now, shithead. And if Newton saw it, he'd goddamn like it, and I goddamn know that for a fact, too.
Things that you would prefer to just deny, right? You don't validate any of us for taking part. We're spending time, too. Maybe not as much...
Yeah, propagandizing. You're not spending time doing anything other than putting up fake goddamn crap, okay, for me to waste my time debunking. That's it. Period.
Time is you on your system, but we're spending plenty of time too, and there is zero, right? So a non-zero appreciation for the time other people spend.
Well, like I said, you haven't spent shit time. That's just a lie. You turn on the video camera and you open your big, fat, gobby, crappy, shitty mouth, and you don't pay a goddamn bit of attention to the goddamn evidence presented. Not a goddamn bit.
Is a necessary requirement for your expectation to be somehow validated, that you're trying honestly, to be recognized.
That's not the point. Again, it's not what I'm trying. I'm not trying to be recognized. I'm trying to have a real conversation with an honest person about what the evidence indicates and what theories cover more of the evidence. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm also trying honestly. Hythloday is being honest. I happen to think Hythloday is wrong about certain things. He thinks I'm wrong about certain things.
Yeah, well, he certainly doesn't sit there and make note of any of it. So I guess there's really no point in it, right? He'd sit there and validate your crappy, shitty turd of a video where you put up a fucking faked image of turbulence. Didn't say a fucking thing about that.
Things really. Anything that we would dig down deep enough, we'd find the disagreements. And in our cases, the three of us, we have. Okay? But there should be an appreciation for people willing to take the energy to...
Again, you keep saying you've taken some energy, okay? I'll give Hythloday some credit where he attempted to understand something of the theory. But again, I mean, I gave him a mechanism that allows there to be a system that creates more pressure and less pressure between particles. And, you know, his obsession was, I kept saying something over and over again. Look, it's inside the particle. The particle gains momentum. And he just kept saying, there's no momentum in your theory. Nothing can change. Nothing can move. No, look, there's zero. It moves right into it. Nothing can change in your theory. Nothing can move. Thermodynamics says. How is that an argument? He makes a bold, obnoxious claim that there's some rule I have to obey. And that somehow my gravity rules have to obey Maxwell's laws, and my magnetism rules have to obey gravity laws. I mean, it's the most insipid argument ever. He's applying formulas that can't be applied to the particles. He's applying quantum theory to bowling balls, for fuck's sake. It's that outrageous. How is this anything like a fair argument? It's nonsense. And again, where's the equal application? Why don't you try to apply any theory to fucking bent space bullshit?
Do the conversation. Even if we're obsessive compulsive, because this is our hobby and we don't know, we just have to keep answering people that are whatever they say. And I consciously admit that that's it. So why talk to Quintica or something, people ask me. Look, people put in the time to keep reducing...
Again, this left-handed crap. I'm totally uninterested in you playing some little... I'm personally entertained by arguing with assholes thing. I really don't... I don't want to be bothered. Okay, you're a troll. Okay, go troll with people. Go troll with people that are of your same ilk, like a Quintica.
A message on their side, then I'll talk to them. Sometimes they just have some fun or be crazy. I can easily handle a lot of that. Now, if they never come back to having...
Yeah, that's exactly your level of participation. You're a skyzer, for fuck's sake. You're not making a rational argument. You're a propagandist for causes.
Conversation, eventually I'll go like, well, I guess their phase of being a part of this is over. They're doing something else now. But people that will continue to engage in these conversations on these topics, whichever ones are of interest to me.
I mean, you're just like some fucking Hillary Clinton rationalizing how, well, it's the mood of the people and blah, 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 some sort of bullshit when, what's obvious is obvious. And that's all you're doing here. And I'm just doing this again for the record. This is what you have to put up with. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of nutters in the world. No doubt about it. Ken the Nutter, lots of flat earthers, lots of other kinds of conspiracy theories everywhere. Every one of my commenters on the last video I'm probably going to rape, okay? Because there are all these idiots going, oh yeah, right on, the universe is electric, or some kind of bullshit. It's like, no, I just said the fucking exact opposite, you stupid cunt. But this is what you have to put up with, and you're just one of these assholes, except you're more fucking arrogant. Yeah, they don't make videos. I guess that's the difference. These fucking assholes with their bullshit, they don't make videos, so yeah, you can't say much to them. They just make little stupid, raggy, idiotic comments about their unicorn theories.
Good. If you were wrong or crazy or anything, that doesn't make you a liar. Okay, it does make you wrong.
It does make you a liar, though. That's the whole point. Okay, you haven't proven me wrong or crazy, either one of those things, and you haven't proven me wrong. And I have proved you to be a manipulative person who will willfully distort the evidence and who will pay no attention to the argument being made, which is that, yeah, all the videos on the subject of the two-slit experiment, which is supposed to be the nail in the coffin evidence for wave theory, is absolute shit. It's a sham trial they did on that subject. Just an outrageous sham trial. And you're defending it, fuckhead. You're defending the jig, the rig, the setup, the lie, the propaganda, the establishment shit. And you're just defending it.
And you're extremely wrong. But I wouldn't have to.
Again, you haven't explained one extreme wrongness. You still haven't explained how if there's a hole in the spaceship and the light's going parallel and you're watching it in your little time-dilated spaceship, how the light that leaves the fucking spaceship isn't moving faster than the speed of light, retard. You still haven't explained how that's possible.
Point out your dishonesties if you weren't exhibiting them.
Well, go ahead and prove one of them. Again, you just don't point out them. I point them out. I show your video. I show the point where you present it. To show the turbulence. I show exactly why this wave doesn't look anything like how they do the two-slit experiment, how this is just bullshit. I explain how you've been a fraud and a fake. Where have you done that courtesy for me, you cunt? You just make an accusation where you don't back it up with a single fucking quote or a single quote from a video where I'm perpetrating the same lie that you're perpetrating.
And yet I do know that your dishonesty comes from a confusion and a whirlwind of denialism and whatnot.
Yeah, again, you just made the accusation. You won't back it up with any evidence, so it just makes you a fucking slandering piece of shit. You're a fucking libeling, fucking slandering shit fuck. That's all you are. You talk absolute fucking shit, you lousy pedophile.
And then You're going to call me names. So
I'm going to call you what you are. You just showed it. You don't put up evidence. You make these outrageous accusations impugning somebody's character. You don't prove a motherfucking thing. Ever. You're a lying piece of fucking troll shit.
I'm not going to answer you at all if I'm not in a mood where...
I don't give a fuck. You're dead to me, fucker. Again, like I said, I'm going to be on the top, okay? And you're going to be on the bottom. And I'm going to spend eternity fucking pissing and shitting on you as an example of what not to be as a human being. This is what not to be. This is the enemy right here. Lying, ignorant, fucking fanatic religious kooks. That's the enemy.
I know that's coming, and I'm prepared to take it in turn and say something back to you about how no, you're wrong. Right?
Yeah, no, you haven't done that. You just say it. You don't prove it. You say something stupid like, well, there's no way for your magnets to all come up blue or red. No, it's their magnets. They don't split in the middle, the little magnets. The little magnets are pulled off. That's how it would work. Things fall apart at the weakest point, not the strongest point. Retard. So no matter how many magnets you pull off of here, you'll always have the same X on top, O on the bottom. Yeah, asshole. So you just make statements that aren't fucking true. And you don't back it up with any evidence.
If you expect validation, and you probably...
Again, I don't give a fuck about validation. Again, I want a fair argument. I want somebody to defend the lie of the nail in the coffin evidence. You say you have nail in the coffin evidence. It's shitty evidence and you need a replacement theory. It's a fact that bent space and quantum theory are never going to be merged because they're both nonsensical. But regardless, they're almost opposing silly putty. And so, yeah, you should figure out that you need to start over right there, jackass, because, yeah, you took all the biggest force in the universe and you put it in another dimension. And newsflash, guess what? That force is doing everything. It's everywhere. It's making electricity and it's making magnetism, and you assholes have no fucking clue because you put it in another fucking dimension.
Yes, that's a word.
Yeah, that's a word you put in my mouth that wasn't in my goddamn mouth. So again, just keep doing that kind of shit, right? Tell people what they said. Straw man bullshit arguments. Fuck you for that.
One word for what you're asking for. Some respect and whatnot. Don't cast this.
Yeah, it's not respect even. It's just a little simple courtesy you do where you don't lie and you don't cheat. You don't talk when you didn't watch something. You don't talk when you don't understand something. You wait until you understand exactly what somebody says before you say, well, that's not possible.
But you do that to other people.
Again, prove it. Again, another unproven accusation. Another slimy, shitty accusation that I've done something that you're not going to, again, demonstrate with a single shred of fucking goddamn evidence, you fucking slandering piece of shit.
Thing is, I know you have the willpower to not do that. It might be hard.
No, it's not about willpower. It's about deserve. You don't deserve it, fucker. You just don't. There's no, you've proven it over and over again. You cannot make a fair argument, so there's no fucking point.
Especially given that you know it drives views. But...
again, another accusation. Another accusation that I somehow get frustrated and get in these arguments where I say, oh, God, you know, I've known this asshole for 7 years or whatever it is on the internet, 8 years. And here he is being a complete motherfucking cunt. And you say, I'm sitting there experiencing that real pain, sort of, as a way of getting views. Does this pain on my face look like it's fun? Or that, oh wow, I'm driving views to my DraftScience channel by having this stupid conversation with a lying piece of scum. That the people who might be interested in physics would give a shit about this distraction. That this is doing nothing but damaging my fucking channel. This is damaging my channel, having a conversation with you. This is damaging my purpose by having this conversation with you. Damaging it. And here you are accusing me. Oh, he's profiting from this antics. Fuck you! I'm not profiting in any way whatever. This is, I'm sincerely saying, okay, I'm not being completely honest in saying, yes, you should be a poster child for goddamn jackass. And that's what if there's nothing else that comes out of this whole fucking thing, that would be a victory right there. It's just to show that this is a demonstration of what happens when somebody actually shows up with the right idea and the fucking naysaying, nitpicking, trolly pieces of shit show up and they just drowned the fucking baby. Right before your eyes, they suck up the bath water and they fucking suffocate the fucking baby. And that's all you fucking are. You're just one of them, for fuck's sake. You're one of these disgusting, putrid, Trumpy, ignorant motherfuckers who hasn't thought about a subject for 10 fucking seconds, but they'll open their smelly, fart-laden mouth. You fucking cunt. If you knew what you were talking about, this wouldn't be a conversation. As I've stated many times on the internet, it's very rare that I'll sit there and pontificate on subjects unless I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because being wrong sucks, and you're wrong a lot.
We know it's possible for you, right? And so you don't have to do that. But you can't turn around and expect other people to do it for you. That's totally hypocritical.
Yeah, whatever. Again, there's no hypocrisy here. You trolls would have drowned anything throughout history. You know, Einstein would have never made it with you fuckers around or anybody else. That's all you are. You're trolls. You break things. You don't fix them. You don't have ideas. You just destroy anybody who does.
Which is to say you can expect it, but it makes you a hypocrite to expect that. If you can't give that kind of respect to the people you're talking to, you shouldn't really expect it.
No, another asshole remark. Again, if I had been given respect, there's no proof you'll ever find where I went to somebody else and dissed them first. That's just bullshit. Unless they were making a complete political statement like a Stefan Molyneux. I mean, unless they were already like an Alex Jones or something. Like they already blanketly insulted the world. So anybody who comes back at them with an insult is doing the world a favor.
And I would point out, there's people, because they come in and talk comments to me, that agree with your system. Why are you talking to me and Hythloday so much instead of these people?
So he asked the same question again. I guess he didn't watch far enough into the video, right? So I got to answer the same question again. Why do I need to talk to the... Well, first off, if there was somebody who disagrees, what good does talking to them do, realistically? Not much. And if they're arguing for their own electric universe theory, and the only thing that they find in common is that we both think Einstein's wrong, that's not terribly useful either.
Doesn't necessarily mean...
I'm seeking a critique that might in some way indicate that I'm wrong. And you're not providing that. You're just saying I'm wrong. Hythloday's just saying, you can't do that. Kinetics won't possibly make it a possibility. It's impossibly impossible. With what? With what evidence did Hythloday prove my theory impossible? Yeah, okay, he proved that, well, if I shove Jello into a square box, the Jello just sits there and doesn't turn into a universe, so therefore your theory can't possibly be correct. That's fair, cop? Yes, sorry. He kept trying to shove it into Lesage even again. He tried to sit there and try to make this Lesage gravity when, oh, it's only about, you know, modernized about 100%. It's only changed dramatically and radically. It's only got about, you know, 17,000 technical details now. Fuck, what a cunt.
If there's anything wrong with them, or don't have anything to add, but there's something about having a difference with me, difference with Hythloday that generates energy for you to progress your system, which you obviously have progressed your system, and I find that interesting.
Yes, obviously, and it would progress even more if the critiques were actually somehow connected to a valid critique, but it was going to progress anyway. But yes, this antagonism, this nastiness has forced me to do a little extra work and all that kind of crap, but it's just extra work, and I don't even know if it's the most productive work. So, yeah, there might be use to it, but that's not the point. The fact that once in a while a troll might accidentally provoke, you know, George Washington to be, you know, better at cutting people's heads off or something, what does that have to do with it? That's an incidental accidental validation, and we know that most of the time that's not what, it's not constructive. Most of your crap hasn't been constructive.
It's a kind of logic. In this case, illogic. It's this method of inferring things that happens to have flaws. But I find that interesting.
Yeah, well, whatever that is, again, I'm just so sick of this fucking infer word coming out of your mouth, and this fucking, these accusations that trivialize other people's thought process when you don't apply the same standard to your own stupid cunt thought process.
But you can't handle that I think your reasoning has flaws in it. That makes me a liar.
No, I can't handle a non-argument of what the flaws are. You haven't even in any way even touched upon the substance of the theory. So what's, where have you in any way argued anything relevant to the scope of the theory? Where? All you've done is made arguments in defense of lies. I point out how the videos are totally incorrect on the two-slit experiment, and you present a fake piece of, well, it's diffraction. Yeah, of course, that's the answer. Diffraction.
It's so terrible, da 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 da. And yet, from my point of view, you misunderstand so many things. I watched your electron pressure thing. I haven't watched it 3 hours. I watched about 15 minutes of the 3.
Yeah, whatever. So you watch the electron pressure thing, and what rational critique can you make on that video? Let's see what he can do. See if he makes a rational critique. Because there really isn't. I didn't say anything all that bold in that video except point out things that are basically known and point them out all in one little bunch. Yeah. The ground isn't really ground.
3 hours, and it's like this. How am I going to process this? I'm going to listen to 3 hours and take notes.
Yeah, I didn't want to listen. I find it painful. I mean, I swear on my mother's life, my father's life, I find it painful to watch your inane and insipid and sick and stupid and moronic videos. They make me want to puke. It took me hours to get through part 1. I haven't watched part 2 because I hate it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to watch a human being be such a fucking hunk of shit. As much as I hate humans.
1 minute out of every 15 minutes where something's actually said. But I watched the electron pressure thing because I don't mind watching you when you're not being that way.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be that way if you didn't make 2 hours of fucking slandering videos, impugning my character, impugning everything I've done, the work I've done, the whole thing. So, yeah. So, you're saying, yeah, well, I like better when we're just talking about the actual physics instead of character assassinating. But that's all you do is character assassin. You don't have an argument. All you have is fake evidence and fucking arguments impugning somebody's qualifications or their intelligence. That's all you have. Nothing else.
So, I enjoy it, rather, watching you when you're not being that way. So, I would not... I mean, you need to, in my view, focus on what you believe, the ways we can discriminate. You can't expect other people to have to agree with you. You should realize that the people that agree with you...
Whatever. Again, this arrogance. I don't need you, asshole. I don't need a conversation with you, you asshole. I don't need to do any of this stuff. What fucking value is your conversation? Why should I talk to a loony truther who every fucking time he loses an argument, he just pays it, he doesn't pay any attention? I spend hours talking in stick-ham with you. I get you to admit a truth. Oh yeah, well, it's not very practical. It's not going to work. Yeah, you can't do it until you get all the money from the rich. And then what do? The very next day you say, we gotta open the borders, and we gotta build 1 million dams, and we gotta do that, blah, 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 and we gotta pay for it with the money we'll get in the future from somebody, maybe, possibly. You do the same shit over and over again. You just say the same crap. It ain't gonna work, but let's do it anyway. Lay some more fucking eggs on piles of dog shit.
If you aren't triggering your thoughts, you need someone to disagree with in order to help generate progress in your idea. And you...
Yes, and that's why I'm soliciting a real physicist, somebody who might be capable of making a real technical argument, rather than these obnoxious, silly, arrogant, foolish, crap, shit, idiot arguments that you're making and Holiday's making.
Appreciate that without needing so much validation.
Again, I don't need validation. What I need is a competition. I need a fair fucking fight, because if I get in a real ring with somebody who's really going to fight an honest fight, I'm going to fucking win. Because this theory beats the fucking shit out of fucking Heisenberg and Huygens and dark matter and bent space and time warps. It beats the shit out of all that rubbish.
About your hard time spent, right? Just a little bit of validation. Thank you, Gary, for having these conversations with me. Thank you for keep trying to...
Again, there's absolutely nothing in what I've indicated that I have any fucking interest whatsoever in that nonsense. So shove that up your ass. I want an honest argument. I don't want a social conversation. I don't want to be grateful. Blah, blah, blah. Because there's absolutely nothing none of you fuckers can do. Obviously, this couldn't have been thought of by... It didn't get thought of by you assholes. It was sitting right there. The truth has been sitting in front of you for fucking hundreds of years. And assholes like you haven't figured it out because you are so fucking dishonest. You're so fucking religious. You're so fucking fanatic. You can't look at anything ever through anyone else's eyes, and that's what you have to do to understand anything, is you have to be able to bend your perception, and you just can't fucking goddamn do that for more than 3 seconds at a time.
Think up replies based on the conversation so far. No thank you for when you just blow your top in order to create a distraction so you don't have to deal with the fact that I have shown you.
So another accusation that I'm doing this antics, it's some kind of tactic, that I'm not sincerely and profoundly offended by some asshole who, when I show how the evidence has been fraudulently presented to people, that the nail in the coffin is a lie, a fucking lie. Okay, what do? They present me some more dishonestly presented information. More information presented, skewed and bent, so it appears to be what it's not. It's like the trial lawyer just drops a gun on the desk. He says, where did that come from? What does that mean? Look, it's right next to the sky on the witness stand. Seems to be kind of associated with him now, doesn't it? Yeah. That's what you're doing. You're not fucking doing. You're not presenting an honest argument in an honest trial of the truth. You're a dishonest troll for Christ.
The water diffraction that you say don't exist. You don't have to call that a lie.
It's a lie. In the context of the conversation, it has absolutely nothing to do with single-slit interference patterns. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Even the other liars don't make diffraction arguments this ludicrous. They're not arguing that that's a diffraction pattern.
Except for, unfortunately, you would have to adapt your ideas to this 400 years of evidence.
Again, so he's just going to keep talking about this fucking 400 years of lying. The two slit, the two slit, the two slit. Don't pay attention to the single slit, the single slit. Yeah, fuck, that's wrong evidence. He's just did it again. 400 years of evidence. I mean, I couldn't draw it a simpler picture. Two slit sort of matches. Single slit, no match. Bah. And he's just going to lie that that's nail in the coffin evidence. Sorry. Bullshit. I don't even know where you get... There's nail in the coffin evidence for Heisenberg. Woo!
If you didn't consider it a lie. And I want to say one more thing. The debate between Huygens and Isaac Newton. There were lots of people on this side of this debate. Light is a wave. Light is a particle. You have to understand. They weren't saying...
I have to understand. No. Sorry. I'm going to get a history lesson from you.
Light is some crazy weird wave for quantum mechanics. Or even relativity weirdness. No.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Huygens is about as silly as you can get. Okay? Even the idea of infinite, right there, you say, what do you mean? Oh, well, you know, you have to make an infinite number of them or it's not a straight line and the math won't work. So yeah, the only way you can make the thing work is you have to have an infinite number of them. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's physics, right? You can have an infinite number of something in there, right? Right? That's lots of room for infinite in there. Yeah, okay, sure.
They weren't saying it was some weird particle full of tons. No. They were saying in the classical model, because we're talking hundreds of years ago, classical model, yes, a classical understanding of waves.
Well, again, he's going to keep trying to say that somehow classical physics is this, and they've already shown their colors on this subject, right? I mean, again, now some kind of wave theory is classical physics now, when no, that's not classical physics. Classical physics is particle physics.
People have noticed waves happen. It's a phenomenon. They wanted to explain it, and they did. There's a medium.
Yeah. Again, with a theory just made up. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because none of us got a microscope good enough to see any of this shit, so everybody's going to have to make a theory that none of us can see, but it still has to match some sort of, like, again, I can invent Invisible Man and we can know, okay, that's a little go too far. I can invent Leprechaun, oh yeah, that's going too far. So I'm just saying the mechanism of a Huygens is this preposterous mechanism. It's more complicated than the goddamn thing that's happening because of it. It's just silly.
Interactions in the parts of the medium or the medium itself. You know, and here's the pattern. And particles, same thing. There's elastic collisions and depending on the angle of incidence and all of that.
So again, he's doing this elastic particle thing. So again, and I've never said the word elastic particle in the whole entire time I've been presenting my theory. But whatever.
Kind of stuff. And the issue was whether light was a wave or a particle, a classical wave, not a woo-woo wave, but just like a water wave.
Well, again, it can't be anything but an unclassical wave. Nobody was stupid enough, because everybody knew there was rays and beams of light, and they didn't spread like a wave. I mean, they knew that 300 years ago, that the stuff seems to fly pretty fucking straight, and the waves never do that.
Like an oil wave. Like an oil wave is different from a water wave, because it's happening in oil. And the light would be happening in whatever the light medium is.
Yeah, which is a tiny corpuscle goes straight through space. Yeah, it doesn't have much to do with waving.
Perfectly classical to expect that.
Alright, well, it's not perfectly classical. It doesn't fit any classical model of physical dynamics. And again, anybody, I think even Newton might have speculated on the fact that, well, you know, the physics of this big world probably isn't going to be the same physics of the little world. In the sense that, you know, if there are things and they're interacting, there might be little things and there might be big things, but they're not going to act the same way as the little things and the big things here. Maybe they're going to be little triangles.
The only weird thing is that in a vacuum, you pump all the air or whatever, something's still in there, because light will still go through it. It's not black. It's not stopping the light, like it stops sound. And the only question is, well, what medium is it? So the part.
So he's back to his ether theory. What medium is it? What is the light perpetrating through? So he's a Kenner.
Well, and the thing is, this debate.
The ether
is one of the It didn't resolve like.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. It shouldn't have resolved. And because the evidence is incredibly weak. Neither side has anything called a slam dunk. And the only thing that gives my theory the slam dunk is, well, it just happens to unify all the forces. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So that's a huge advantage my theory has. Complete unification of all force law. And, you know, so yeah, that's a pretty big advantage over your theory of mishmash, silly, wave now, gravity wave, dark matter wave, blah, blah, blah.
Like phlogiston. Could look it up, phlogiston, pH.
Again, so he's not going to do a paramecium theory. It's been proven that the phlogistons learn.
Biology. It turned out there wasn't something like that. There was nothing similar enough like that to say there was that. So, nope, that's not how it works, people won.
Right, like no Vulcan. Yes. So we already know all these little silly mistakes of history, and they figure out the truth eventually. But again, it was you assholes who declared a truth. You declared we have nail in the coffin evidence. This is the whole. You're giving me this history lesson, and the history ends right there. With assholes who make lying statements about the evidence and say they have a nail in the coffin evidence. I can play Professor Lewin, I can play Feynman, I can play the guy at Stanford, I can play so many physicists saying, this is the nail in the coffin, the two-slit experiment. That's the mistake been made. that you arrogant fucks think we can close the door now. We don't have to listen to anybody else ever again because we have the nail in the coffin evidence. No, you don't.
Well, initially, we started to see these wave phenomena. Well before we could isolate particles of light, we saw wave phenomena through prisms.
We all know this already. Look, my argument is this is your theory. It leaves as a corpuscle. It does some kind of bullshit on its way to Goldilocks' house, and then it lands as a solid corpuscle. And your theory is I'm supposed to believe that the universe works in this silly way where instead of just having the corpuscle go straight to where the location where the corpuscle ends up in a nice straight line at the speed of light, let's pretend it does all this other nonsense instead, because that's how the universe works. No straight lines. No. Don't bother doing the simple straight line, just corpuscle from here to corpuscle there. No, let's just do all this fucking bullshit instead. That's your fucking theory. Yeah, I think it's a ludicrously stupid and moronic.
And diffraction.
I've proven it to be, I think, now, by demonstrating what a real theory looks like.
We saw it was wave-like macroscopically. Not until you could slow down and shoot a photon at a time, which can be done with a laser. And as far as
he's doing this. He's doing the same crap here. Like somehow shooting one photon at a time in any way indicates that it couldn't possibly be anything other than a wave because of that. How does that prove wave theory? It's completely non-intuitive. Because particles wouldn't give a shit about 1 at a time or 10 at a time because they're not dependent on interference, you retard. It's not an interference pattern. It's an on-off pattern. Fuck.
Only done with a laser.
Again, you can only show it over and over again, right? This is why they believe it's an interference pattern. Slam dunk reason. Right there, the 2-slit experiment. Oh, it's slam dunk. It has to be interference. Even though the same pattern, no interference. Okay, so that's their slam dunk evidence where they can't even describe it or talk about history or anything else without just this grotesque assumption that it has to be an interference pattern. See, because that proves interference. Even though that's counter evidence, we will shove that under the rug. And I've demonstrated them overtly, deliberately shoving it under the rug. And then you make an argument where you attempt to shove it under the rug some more by pretending that single wave pattern isn't a single wave pattern. There's all kinds of diffraction and stuff happening in there. When we know that's not how it happens. That's not what the evidence demonstrates. That if we make waves at progressively higher frequency, we start at 1 hertz and we increase to 50 hertz, that 90% of those waves will look just fine, and it's only when we get to a certain high frequency that all of a sudden they go funky.
Heavily in a particular direction. I guess there's a lot of ways that you can do it. The way we do it in the lab to control light and a certain frequency.
Oh yeah, the way we do it in the lab. I just love that stuff. You mean the way the French guy did it 200 years ago or whatever, 100 years ago, by painting a screen black and then going on vacation for 3 months and putting photographic plates on the other side. Yeah, that's the way they did it. That's the way it was done.
You just slow it down and that laser can be made to put out the photons at whatever rate. And then we saw the particle part. And then Newton's but Newton didn't just win its particle because we'd already seen these wave phenomena.
No. Well, seeing the particle part, it didn't change didn't slow them down one little tiny bit. So what's the difference? It just gave you an excuse to create all kinds of crap about going through 2 slits at once and Heisenberg and all this other bullshit. So it just made your theory even more insipidly stupid. Because instead of having real substances interfering with each other, now you had single items plowing through 2 places. Well, they disappear as a thing and they turn into their wave function, and their wave function goes through. So it only made your zealotry said we have to make this back into a wave. So we'll make it back into a wave by this insane theory that the matter dematerializes and then it rematerializes on the other side after it's done some calculus. You're again just proving my point. Your slam dunk evidence. Yeah, you found out that Your slam dunk evidence wasn't so slam dunk, and what did you do? You just slam dunked it some more by saying, well, Heisenberg is the truth, and the cat is dead, and blah, blah, blah.
I'm not lying about this, even if you think I'm wrong, but what's really going on is, like, you don't understand what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no, you are. Look, there's no argument about what my argument is. I couldn't have made it clearer. The argument is this evidence is not, is exculpatory. Okay, this evidence indicates guilt. This one indicates not guilty. And you just keep avoiding the not guilty evidence. You keep obsessing about the two-slit experiment when the experiment is really the single slit. That's where the phenomenon happens. That's the one you can't explain. And in this conversation, you could have just said Huygens again. You could have just relied on your little leprechaun theory and walked away from the conversation. But instead, you had to present propaganda trying to say this isn't the truth, trying to imply that the single slit light pattern is being created by some sort of diffraction thing, that this pattern is being created by some sort of diffraction nonsense. That's what you did. You came back with a crappy and a shitty and a made-up argument with fake evidence.
Oh, I'm lying, in case somebody else might understand it. And I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. So anyway, for the record. So again, another, just nothing relevant to the subject, just more, I will defend our God theory, our perfect evidence. You are attacking the authority of our God. The wave. The wave. Oh, there's comments on here. How depressing. Let's see. Great text. What a scum. The word subsidies has existed. What else does he think he deserves? Wow. Classy remark. Great text. Yeah, you're a real winner. Stupid. Now you do have a skanky cunt. Ugh. Grotesque piece of shit. I vomit on thee. Alright. Now, half the day, also the lying, compulsive lying piece of cunt shit. Inmendum denies that the, okay, here we go. I'll call it the after measurement which way. Okay, so the after measurement which way, here we go, of electron two-slit experiment. No, I deny that you can shoot things through crystals and call it a slit, and that you can use 14 mirrors and, not have to account for any of what you're claiming this thing to actually be measuring. So again, you can, yes, okay, if you think this is critical somehow, I'm talking about the simplest experiment, so yes, you don't want to talk about that subject. You want to move on to experiment number 2 that they may have been compulsively lying about, and now you're going to expect me to explain that one. So this is their game plan, right? I mean, you debunk the nail in the coffin experiment, and then they're going to force you to go to each and every fucking experiment, do it all over again, and find out where they made the wrong assumptions and where they made the technical mistakes. Same cunt behavior of electron two-slit experiment has been done. So he's saying, Inmendum denies, and I'll call it the after measurement which way, of electron two-slit experiment has been done. The electron which way experiment. So I'm talking about a two-slit experiment where they measure the electron going inside the electron gun. I'm not talking about some mirror experiment. But anyway, whatever you want to talk about. Fine, whatever. You want to say I denied it, I guess I'd like you to show the evidence where I denied it was done. I'm denying. What I'm saying is now they're using big pieces of matter. What do you think is going to happen if they try to detect which slit it goes through? You think they'll be able to do it without destroying the pattern? What's your theory, retard? So do you think with 110 atoms that if they shine a little tiny photon, I mean not a lot of light, but a little tiny photon at the 110 atoms, that they can probably tell what slit it went through without disturbing it? Don't you bet that's probably true? And that at least one side of this idiotic controversy will be dead, because they'll figure out that, oh yeah, it does go through one slit or the other. Alright, and I'm now inclined to suspiciously agree 65 to 70%. Well, now he's agreeing with me. Oh, interesting. What has taken place is experiments which test that aspect of QM. So again, yes, there's lots of experiments with lots of technology, doing lots of making lots of bold claims, and they're really complicated experiments. And so, yeah, you're going to have to spend some real time figuring out what piece of glass or what mirror or what thing they didn't account for. But there's a lot to account for. Oh, he will not take account of this because he's so upset about finding a lie. Question mark. I think, however, he changed his game to be more careful and generally challenged evidence as being weak rather than saying it hasn't been done. Well, again, where did I say something hasn't been done and I was wrong? So again, this is just such another slimy accusation that I somehow made a mistake. No, the first video I watched was the Dr. Quantum one, the one that was just the first one I had to respond to, because it made this outrageous claim that they looked at the data and then they didn't look at the data, and if they looked at it, things changed. I mean, it was an outrageous pile of shit, and I went looking for that experiment, and I claimed that experiment was never done because I could find absolutely not one shred of evidence that the experiment was ever done. That's the one I claimed didn't get done. And ever since then, you're going to claim I claimed a whole bunch of other experiments were never done. And that's just bullshit. Sometimes you are loose with your words and don't take account for this tactical shift. So again, it's another fucking goddamn accusation that I'm applying some kind of tactic. So this is the honest truth, again, sworn on my father and mother's lies, my sister's lies, or whatever. I don't like these people much, but all Trump supporters, fuck them. Yeah, I swear on something valuable, the cat's welfare. It gets a stomach ache or something if I'm lying. There's no tactic. I don't think it's right to make arguments claiming experiments have been done and proven something when they haven't. Just like when Pirro said, well, they've done it with neutrons and it's a complete validation of wave theory. When, if you go look at the experiment, no, it's not even close to a complete validation of anything. It's a piece of shit. It's an experiment. It's not very elucidizing. That's what I'm doing. There's no tactic here, you fucking cunt. And that drives him even crazy. Yeah, I hate being lied about by stupid fucking liars. And sees you as lying about his position. Well, that's all you two cunts ever do, is lie about what I have said, lie about what I have argued. I mean, I made like I had to repeat myself like 6 or 7 times to try to get the lie you kept saying out of the one that you put out in my mouth, that somehow my theory doesn't account for electrons or protons moving, when of course it does. Thus, his videos descend into one long tirade calling you, yes, exactly what you are. What the hell did you just post this stupid video by that Al-Kahari guy, or whatever the fuck he is? It's a piece of shit, as a fucking goddamn physics argument. A piece of steaming shit. So yeah, you're a propagandist. I mean, you didn't provide any critique. You didn't say anything about, well, this video says stuff, I don't know if I necessarily blah, 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 blah. You didn't do anything. It's an endorsement of fucking trivial, superficial, overstated exaggerations of science. It's goddamn fucking just more truther shit. Alright, all Inmendham did was sit on his backside and ran into a video camera. So this is logical empiricist. So lie some more, hardly deserving a Nobel Prize, whatever. And look, again, you're just showing yourself to be what you are, a troll. Inmendham had bad times before that, very bad times, but that entitles him to welfare payments, not Nobel Prizes. And Inmendham should learn to show a little modesty and take satisfaction in nature. Look at that fucking cunt. So it's about his philosophy, because this is what he does. He thinks everybody else should live his way. They're fascist trolls. Makes them even more disgusting. And talking about philosophy, you should just die. Get what you deserve. Die horribly, suffering, puking your guts out because you're a fucking piece of scum. Okay, you talk this trash about other people when you put up nothing, you trashy piece of shit. Yeah, get what you deserve, cunt. Hard and nasty. I suggest you yeah, well, whatever, I won't bother suggesting it on YouTube. So you can't make any suggestions on YouTube. only the commenters are allowed to be grotesque in their, you know, wishing fuckers. But all of you get what you deserve. Get what you've earned, which is a fucking garbage truck squishing you.